Hello everyone. Today we'll be making a pizza. Well, I'll really be making the pizza, you'll just be watching. So let's get started. We're going to make the crust first. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar, 3/4 of a cup of warm water, and we're going to stir it up a bit to dissolve that sugar. Then we'll add 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast, and we'll sprinkle it on top. And now I'll cover it and I'll set it aside for about 10 minutes. Then I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now we're going to mix those ingredients. And I'll grab the dough and make it into a nice round ball and place it back in the bowl. Now I'll cover it with a damp towel and put it aside in a nice warm place to help it rise for about an hour. Okay, so now we're going to get started on the sauce. I'll start by adding my 6 ounce of tomato paste, then 1 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, ½ teaspoon of oregano, ½ teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon of garlic powder, and a little dash of Parmesan, and then 3/4 of a cup of water. Now I'm going to set the heat to medium, and I'll begin to whisk everything together. Now you want to keep stirring the sauce while the heat is on. You want to make sure you keep stirring so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Okay, yeah, we're stirring. Anyway, so once it starts to bubble, you can turn off the heat. And you can add 1 tablespoon of Parmesan. And you want to mix that until the Parmesan melts. You then set that aside and let it cool before we start to use it. Okay, so now we're going to work on our mussels, and we're going to grate this 1 pound of mozzarella cheese. Okay, now let's set our oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And now let's take a look at our dough. It looks pretty good. So we're going to sprinkle some cornmeal on this 14-inch pan. And then I'll drop the dough in the center, and I'll start to push it out towards the edges. Alright, good, and now I'll add my sauce, and I'll spread it evenly throughout the entire pizza, and I'll make sure I don't get it too close to the edges. But I'll keep it fairly centered. And now I'll add the freshly grated mozzarella cheese. And now I'm going to add the pepperoni. And feel free to place the pepperoni pretty close to each other, even touching, because the pepperoni tends to shrink while baking. So now that we're done with that, let's grab our pizza and put it in the oven. You want to keep your eye on it, but it shouldn't take any longer than 7 minutes. And here's the final result. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I gotta go eat. See ya.